Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well. It is Monday lunchtime for me and yeah, it is really cold. We got about 3 inches of snow yesterday and it's 13.5 degrees in my living room and I can't put up with cold any longer. It's been like this all day, so yeah, I need to put the heating on. So I am freezing here. I'm all curled up on my sofa, trying to keep warm. So heating, I've just turned it on, so hopefully it'll be warmed up soon. And look what just arrived in the post, completely separate from what this whole point of the video. It's Eddie from Stranger Things. I finally have his pop vinyl doll. I absolutely love him. Isn't he gorgeous? This is a Target exclusive, which is a shop in the United States of America, which isn't here, so I've had to wait like a month. I ordered this a month ago and it's been out since the series came out, so yeah, I've had to wait a long time to get it, and he's finally here, so I can add him to my pop vinyl collection, which I'm very happy about. Anyway, the reason why I am here is because it is day 6 of the Bookishly Advent Calendar. In case you haven't seen my other videos, I am doing the Bookishly Advent Calendar where I am opening a book from Bookishly with their own exclusive dust covers. I don't know what the book is. We're going to find out together. So here we go. It's going to be, and as usual, I include a link to their website in the description. Let's see if we can tell from the back what it might be. Oh, okay. We've got some flower, lovely teal colour. Okay, let's find out what the heck is this. Oh, that's quite sweet. It's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Oh, that's really interesting. I quite like that. It's very... One thing I just slightly irks me is that Mr. Darcy is quite bold here and Elizabeth is quite light, and she kind of, you could easily kind of miss her in a sense. But in a way that is, I kind of understand that, because obviously, you know, that boldness of Darcy's character and such, but at the same time Elizabeth is also quite bold, so I kind of feel like they need to be equal with each other on the cover, but that's just me. So let's see if we've got any details. No Spotify thing and no details of the artists on the cover, unfortunately. And let's have a look at what the Wentworth cover, because it's Wentworth editions that you get. Oh, you get a nice bonnet. But yeah, this is definitely nicer than that, for sure. So Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Oh, that is very pretty, I have to say. And I do like the range of flowers on it, the range of colours as well. This very kind of darker kind of teal background. It's, yeah, and yeah, look at the flowers on the back, aren't they pretty? So Pride and Prejudice, written by Jane Austen. When she first wrote it, she had the title First Impressions, but changed it to Pride and Prejudice, and it follows the Bennets. So the Bennets, they're not, you know, seriously poor, but they are poor, but they're not like destitute or anything kind of poor. And it's mother, father and 5 daughters, and their mother is absolutely determined to marry them off rich. And the second daughter, Elizabeth, she's quite a bold character, as I mentioned just before when I was looking at the cover, and she loves her sister Jane, especially her eldest sister Jane, and she wants everything possible for Jane. She wants the world for her, but recognizes, because of their position, that they may not be able to capture these rich men who her mother wants them to be married off to. And not long after the book starts, a new man, Mr. Bingley, moves to the county and comes to the dance that everyone is at, and brings with him his good friend Mr. Darcy, who's not the nicest of gentlemen. And yeah, it's all about the Bennets and their relation with speak Becky, my God, their relationship with Mr. Bennet and Mr. Darcy, and the various things that come up and other people that come through their past and everything. It's a classic. It's an absolute classic Jane Austen story. Is it my favourite Jane Austen? I yeah, that's actually a tough one because my love for Jane Austen books. I mean, I love them all. Don't get me wrong, love them all. But sometimes it very much depends on what the mood I'm in. So at the moment, I'm in like, if I had to pick up a Jane Austen book right now to read, I think because of this time of year and the mood, the atmosphere of the world and everything, I think I quite like to read Persuasion right now. But maybe more in like the spring, I might like to read Pride and Prejudice. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. So I do love Pride and Prejudice. I love all of Austen's work. But yeah, as of right this second, I would be a Persuasion girl. But it is really, really well written, well put together, and I love Jane Austen for her wit. Obviously she's a great writer in general, and her twists and stories and that she writes, but I especially love her wit. She was very much an observer in society that she was in. She would be the person who stands on the sidelines and watches people, observes them, overhears conversations, and she is, I think, very much the inspiration of Lady Whistledown in Bridgerton, sorry, the word just completely fell out of my head then, that's crazy. In Bridgerton, which I really, really love that Julia Quinn is taking the real inspiration, real person and who they were and such, and made that an inspiration for her books, which are set in the same period. It's absolutely brilliant. And if you haven't read Bridgerton or watched the Bridgerton TV show on Netflix, do. It is absolutely fantastic. It's also very interesting how she views family. The Bennets are absolutely wonderful, but they have their flaws. All of them have their flaws, and she's not afraid in her other books to explore that, especially in Persuasion, where basically everyone treats Anne like shit in Persuasion. It is, she really, really is the fall guy for lots of stuff, and she has to take on so much of their crap. Bless her. But it is that thing though, that her having to deal with that leads to her ultimate story, and it's a wonderful story. I really like the sort of story of Persuasion. It's great. But anyway, back to Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, so she very much paints everyone true to reality. She doesn't just have her hero, be amazing. So for example, Jane. Elizabeth loves Jane. Everybody loves Jane. She's the most beautiful. She's the kindest. She's the sweetest and everything. But everyone has things that are their gifts can be their flaws. So she's a little gullible to things and doesn't quite see what is happening right in front of her. And in the course of like letters that get written and situations she finds herself in. And it's really sad that Lizzie can see everything that is going on, and she's far away from Jane when this is happening. Jane is in London, and she can see everything that's happening just by the letters that she's getting from her sister, but her sister can't see what's happening right in front of her face. It's things like that. So it's flaws, not necessarily flaws as in you're evil or whatever, or you're just really a horrible, obnoxious man, but flaws in character that is the byproduct of the good sides. So yeah, I love how Jane does that balance of showing different personalities of people, and you can totally understand or at least I feel, should I say, you can totally understand how characters get from A to B, what happened to them before we meet them in the book that has built up to them getting there. You can understand how, like, people's arrogance and everything. And then when you have Darcy, where he is the first time, he's not a nice guy. He's really obnoxious to Lizzie and Jane and the other Bennets. That as time goes on, you understand exactly. With him, it takes longer to understand exactly how he got to point A to point B. But when you get there, it's like, it all makes sense now. And in a way, you do kind of fall for him. Not everyone falls for him, I'd say, because there are some people. I mean, I went to a session at Cheltenham Literature Festival a few years back where it was called "Who's the Bigger Shit," Mr. Darcy or Heathcliff. And it was a panel, and a few of them said Darcy and a few said Heathcliff, and they were debating back and forth, and then we got to vote who we thought was the biggest shit. So yeah, there are people out there, famous people as well, who think Darcy is a terrible, terrible person and shouldn't get Lizzie. But yeah, I mean, I view him as a man who's been through a lot. And especially when you find out things his past, there's a beautiful chapter about it. I don't think they've actually gotten titles, have they? The various chapters? No, they don't. So I couldn't tell you the chapter number, but it's where he writes a letter to Lizzie, and the entire chapter is this letter, and it's just like, okay, Jane's going, right, I'm going to put all the jigsaw puzzles pieces together for you right now in front of your face that you couldn't see connected, but they are all there. And yeah, you can just see it in front of your eyes get made, and realize that Lizzie had a flaw as well, that she believes that her understanding, what she is told is truth, like that's of various situations, but it's not always that case. And so she learns things, Darcy learns things, and there are other characters who learn various things. But I always love the fact that Lizzie's always true to herself, and when she does something wrong, she does, apologize for it. She admits, and especially like her friendship with her best friend Charlotte. And there's a point where Charlotte does something. I'm not going to say what it is because spoilers. And Lizzie's horrified. She's oh god, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? She's horrified by this happening. And Charlotte basically tells her, don't you dare judge me for this, Lizzie. And she explains the situation that she's in, what this will mean for her, and that it will make her comfortable, and she's perfectly happy with that, and she's gone through every possible scenario, and it makes her happy. And Lizzie goes, okay, if that's, then I am here to support you 1000%. And she recognises, yeah, I kind of fucked up a bit when I got a little upset and angry. So yeah, I do like that lessons are constantly learned in Jane Austen's book, just her books in general, but there are a lot of lessons learned in Pride and Prejudice, and it's a really lovely story. The 1995 BBC adaptation is, for me, the best. It is just so brilliant, and I think, I'm gonna say, I might be wrong about this, but since I did review this book, which I will include in the description, I on my channel, should I say, I've got the fully restored Blu-ray edition of the 1995 Pride and Prejudice, and oh my god, it is incredible with the full restoration done on it. So yeah, the full restoration version is the best version. So go find that if you're interested in finding it. So yeah, Pride and Prejudice is book number 6. I have to say, this is, the more I look at this, the more it's growing on me. I love this like deep teal colour and the dark flowers versus the light flowers. It's very much Darcy's character versus Lizzie, and how they conflict, but they work together. Maybe that's why she's lighter in this compared to him. There's is a contrast thing, but together it just works. I don't know, but yeah, it is a really, really lovely cover, I have to say. So thank you, Bookishly, for Pride and Prejudice. And yeah, my goodness, we are over. We're definitely in the second half of this calendar now. I was just about to say over the halfway point. But yeah, that was book number 6. That technically, yeah, I was going to say over the halfway point, but you know what I mean. My brain is just not in the right place right now. Yeah, I've only got 6 to go. What are the other 6 gonna be? I don't know. I'm really excited. But yeah, I will be back to you guys in a couple of days to find out what number 7 is. And yeah, I will see you then. Bye.